Today is a very special day in my life, and I wanted to share it with all my Facebook friends and family. A miracle took place on this day on September the 2nd, 1972, 43 years ago. And the day of my birth and the day of my death will not be as special to me as this day is. And I want to share this brief testimony with you of God's blessings. Back in the summer of 1972, I was in Corvallis, Oregon, and I was in the Benton County Jail, and I was charged with criminal use of drugs. And I just finished 5 years behind bars in prison and in jails all over the different states in the United States, and I was fixing to go to court, and I'd already been declared as having a criminal profile by the state of Louisiana, and also the state of Oregon wanted to send me to a criminally insane institution in Salem, Oregon. And I was fixing to go up to court, but a team of psychologists came up from Tulane University when I was in Angola in the state penitentiary in Louisiana, and I was one of the people that they studied, and they told me that I had a criminal profile and that if I didn't change my ways, that I would probably be locked up for the rest of my life. And you know what? They were right. I did have a criminal profile. And so I'm in this jail cell, and they done declared me mentally incompetent, and I went before the judge in court that next day, and he kicked me out of Benton County, Oregon. He didn't send me to the criminally insane institution, but really all they wanted to do was get rid of me, and the life I was living then, nobody wanted me around anyhow. So he kicked me out of Benton County, Oregon, and the sheriff, that was in Corvallis, Oregon, where the university is, and the sheriff took me to Interstate 5 and pointed me south and told me never to come back to Benton County, Oregon again. And as messed up as I was, I had a drug and alcohol demon along with a suicide desire that turned into an all-consuming suicide demon later. And I knew I had all these problems. And I've been locked up all these years. They done tried every program on me, and everything that the state and the government had to offer, I've been through it, to no avail. Well, I hitchhiked back to Monroe, Louisiana. And I actually went down to the Monroe Mental Health Clinic down on South Friend Street where the old Charity Hospital used to be. And I went down there 3 times. And the last time I went down there, and there wasn't nobody ever there. No one was ever there, and I went during business hours. Of course, I know why there wasn't anyone there now. But I pounded on that door the last time I went down there, and I finally decided that I would take that dark plunge. My dad did the same thing. He committed suicide, and I felt like that was my only way out. And this was in the latter part of August 1972. And I made a decision. I knew where an apartment was, and I knew where a loaded shotgun was, and I was going to go take that dark plunge. And on September the 2nd, I was walking to that apartment to get that shotgun, and a man and his wife and his 2 daughters picked me up. And I don't know what the name of that street was. To this day, I ain't never went over and looked at the name of that street, but I call it Suicide Street. And they picked me up, and this man happened to be a Pentecostal apostolic preacher, and his wife and 2 daughters. And he told me when I got in that car, he said, boy, he said, we got a 3-step program that will solve your drug problem, your alcohol problem, your suicide problem, your depression problem. And I told him, I said, I'd like to hear what you got. And he said, we're on our way to the treatment facility this very moment. And you know what that treatment facility was? They took me to an old-fashioned tent revival out in the middle of a field in Winsboro, Louisiana. And I made up my mind that whatever that program was, I was going to give it a shot. And if it didn't work, I'd go on and get the shotgun. And that preacher got up behind that pulpit. That was God's psychiatrist that he sent by there to pick me up. And he gave me the 3 steps. He said, repent. And I said, I will. He said, be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ for the remission of sins. And I did. And he said, receive the Holy Ghost. And I got it. And I still got it 43 years later. But that ain't all he did for me. He put a Holy Ghost smile on my face. He put laughter in my mouth. And he gave me a heart full of singing. And let me tell you something. If your world is crashing in on you today, you need to go to Living Way Apostolic Church or any apostolic church. And we've got a church house full of people out here at Living Way in Balkanville, and they have went through the same 3-step program that I went through. I love you with a pure heart, fervent.